I'm going to full screen it. I'll be able to see what I look like. Okay, I'll shut up. Let's just watch it once. The entire thing. And then go from there.
All right, hello everyone. I am AnthonyCaliber, and this is The Last of Us. This game came out in 2013, was remastered a year later for the PlayStation 4, and won a bunch of Game of the Year awards and even a couple Game of the Decade awards. But instead we're gonna do the single-player DLC Left Behind. Now, there are some story spoilers ahead, so if you haven't played The Last of Us, you should. It's kind of a really good game. But there are some spoilers ahead. So there are two halves to Left Behind. One half takes place around 3 or 4 weeks before the events of The Last of Us. That goes over how Ellie and her friend Riley got infected by the cordyceps fungus. And the other half takes place in the middle of The Last of Us. After Joel gets impaled in the science lab, Ellie brings him to an abandoned mall for shelter and to look for medical supplies to heal him up. Now, a casual playthrough takes around 2.5 hours. A glitchless speedrun takes around 30 minutes, give or take. But an any percent speedrun, woohoo. Well, here we go. Just gotta wait for the loading screen. Now, timer's gonna start after I skip the first cutscene.
I look fat.
Just gotta wait.
That's
okay,
my first observation.
3, 2, 1, go. All right, so normally,
this is my first time seeing this.
And do story stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Now where the fuck do I go?
Language, Ellie. But instead, we're gonna go over here. Climb these crates over here. And do this. And we just glitched out the entire area. So now things like tables and stands and stuff like that are still
I didn't get to hear where they
spawning,
were
so we need to
applauding.
know where we're going.
No, I said I would shut up.
Using those garage doors to know exactly where I'm going. Now, this game has 6 chapters. We're in chapter 1, obviously. And we're in chapter 5. So this glitch despawns doors, and we just went through the door that triggers the final fight of the game. Now we need to make our way to the back end of this store here. I'm gonna wait for everything to spawn in so I know where I'm going. There we go, perfect. Now if you stand over here when everything else spawns in, you soft lock the game. So we need to be right here, and coincidentally, there's some health you can pick up. Like that. Now I need some blessed RNGs in chat because what I'm about to do is about 99% RNG.
What was that?
I've been dreading this. I'm gonna run past these 4 guys and just leave.
Stitch him up.
Here we go.
And then I'm gonna get the hell out of here.
You guys find outside.
Come on, Ellie. Looking good. Open the door. Open the door. Yes. So much RNG with that. Okay, now we're in the final fight of the game. Now, there are 2 waves to this final fight. There are 8 enemies trying to open the locked door that Joel is behind. We're just gonna do the glitch again and get rid of them. Just like that. 8 enemies gone. And now for the second wave, it's a little more complicated. There are also 8 enemies, but if you do the glitch right away again, you soft lock the game. So we need to kill 5 enemies. That will spawn in some infected, then we can do the glitch again. Oh, where are you? I need some ammo. There we go. That's 2. All right, 1 more. There you are. Infected. Oh, gotta do the glitch again. There we go. That despawns everybody. That restart encounter skips a bunch of dialogue. And then we go for the door. And that's pretty much, there's one more segment after this, but that's pretty much the entire game. Okay, so like I said, there's another part of the game, which is a flashback. I'm not gonna bother explaining it because all of this with no context to me is just really hilarious. What's going on? You have no idea. We skipped all of it. All right, so unfortunately there aren't many speedrun strats from this point forward. We have to play the game normally. So From here till the end of the run is a good time for donations.
Of course, I've got.
Okay. So, I did meet with the donation reader before this run, and I told her, once I hand off donation reading to her, keep going until the end of the run. I have nothing more to explain. I did meet with her before the run and told her, when I hand off the donations to you after around 3 minutes or so, you can keep going until the end of the run. I have nothing to explain. Yeah, it was a it was a guy in transition to being a female. Be courteous.
Got a couple ones that
Angry Sun, thank you for a 29-month resub.
I have $100 from What If Cats Are. It says, "Hey Ant, look on the bright side. At least you won't have to deal with Bill this run."
Okay, so I also need to say, I could not hear the donation reader. That was another part of it. The audio in my head was so loud. It was so loud. And I tried to speak up right before they transitioned to me, saying it's a little loud, but then I heard like, all right, I think we're going to hand it. I think it's time for Left Behind. It's like, all right then. I could not hear her at all. I was also battling an ear infection, so I could only hear out of one ear. And it was too loud. Like at ESA, if Annex was here, he would say, he would tell you when we had the headsets on at ESA, the volume was perfect. We could hear each other. We could hear the game. We could hear the donation reader. Oh, man. I couldn't hear the donation reader at all. So I actually get to hear what's going on here.
Got a couple ones that I think you're going to really appreciate. I have $100 from What If Cats Are. It says, "Hey Ant, look on the bright side. At least you won't have to deal with Bill this run." Thank you so much to all
I didn't
the
hear that.
staff and runners that make such an amazing event possible. Donation goes to Runner's Choice. Also have $250.
I didn't hear this one.
From
Dino.
Delastofus.
Dino, yeah.
Who says, "Hey Ant, this is your time, my friend. The community of The Last of Us is with you now. Enjoy every moment. You deserve it for the years of work you've put into this game."
Thanks, Dino.
I heard it was Dino, but I didn't hear what the donation message was. So then there's some awkward silence right here. I'm like waiting for more donations. Just keep reading them. That's what I told her.
Got time for another one?
I did not hear her. Nope. And that's the one thing I regret in this run. When people watch it back, there's going to be, that was awkward. That was cringy. I tried to avoid being cringy. I didn't hear that.
Got time for another one?
Nope. Did not hear that at the slightest. See, I'm looking around. I'm trying to like, okay, I'm not hearing anything. I'm not hearing anything. So then I was just like, I wasn't ignoring her. I did not hear her. I told her just keep reading off donations. And so I caught myself. I was like, all right, she's not talking. So what do I say? I didn't know that she said that, and I haven't heard her say anything in like 9 or 10 seconds. And I know how awkward it was getting. I don't need to explain what's happening here. Although in hindsight, I should have. So I think I responded with...
Like I said, there are really no speedrun strats. This part, you just got to play it normally. So any more donations, perfectly fine with me.
All right, we have...
So then I recovered. You know? As far as I was concerned, I hadn't heard her read a donation in like 15 seconds. So I didn't know she said anything, but I was just trying to drown out the awkward silence.
$100 from Paul154. It says, "Hi everyone, I got some money saved up and I'm putting it on the GDQ pile."
Thank you, Paul. Keep
Another
going. Here we go.
$100 from Kevin250.
Kevin.
Been watching for years. Thanks for all you do. Putting this one towards Fire Emblem Three Houses. Fear the deer.
Didn't hear that. It sucks. I couldn't hear the donation reader. And then right here, she stopped reading, but I was about to talk
Here we
again.
go.
So then it was fine.
So this part's funny to me. Naughty Dog's lying to you right here. You don't have to hit square.
I couldn't tell if anyone was laughing from that.
All right, and time's coming up in a little bit. Gotta stab this runner first. All right, time is right now.
And then this was supposed to be a joke.
My throat hurts for some reason. Weird.
Some people
What was my
got it.
time?
And what was my time?
How much? 5:33. Not bad. Not bad. I will take that. The record's 5:19.47. Just an insane run. Okay.
And it's funny. Did you see me look off to the right?
0.47.
Here, look at me.
An insane run.
Right there, the person who told me the time, I was like, "What's my time?" And he's like, 5:33. I'm like, "No." And then I said the time, and she was just like, I said it was 5:19. She was like, "Oh my god." So I looked over again to her reaction to that. She was like, "Oh my god."
The record's 5:19.47. Just an insane run.
Yeah, a little side eye right there.
Okay, I think that's it. So again, I'm AnthonyCaliber, full-time Twitch streamer.
Had to include that.
Speed runs of The Last of Us on grounded mode, which is the hardest difficulty. My record for that's 2 hours, 50 minutes, and 30 seconds, which is insane considering where we started. And it's really exciting that Last of Us 2 is releasing in May of this year, so we're really excited for that. I sense a lot of speedrun potential with that game. And yeah, if you want to get into speedrunning Last of Us or Left Behind yourself, I have some tutorials on my YouTube channel, which is also AnthonyCaliber. And if you have any questions, like specific questions, you can join our Discord, which is called the Ant Colony. That's our little group name. And either I or someone else will answer any questions you have. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you, GDQ, for having me.
I wish I was a little less stiff. It's also awkward because if you've seen other GDQ runs, you know that like the camera angle has the person playing and then the couch and the audience in the background. But because it was only me, the camera angle was like this. It was just pointed straight down. And that was not my best side, let me tell you. You know, I looked a little creeperish. Ew, that's a bad look. I looked a little creeperish from here. I could stand to be like 20 or 30 pounds lighter. But man, that is not a good angle. I don't stream straight on. I stream at an angle. You know? So it didn't capture my good side. There's no audience or couch people in the background. It's just really zoomed in on me. And I didn't see that a lot with other runs and other runners. So I kind of thought that was a little off. Also, I remember this. I had to the chair I was sitting on. I had to move the chair forward because I was positioned pretty far back from where the monitor was. My mouse is picking my nose here. I was positioned a little far back from where the monitor was, so I had to like scooch in a little compared to where it was. Because look at this. You see how close I play to a screen? Yep. This close. The chair was probably positioned like against the back wall. You know? Also, this is something you didn't see. What do we got there? Captain D, thank you for a 2-month resub. Thank you. there were 2 monitors to my right and 2 monitors to my left. All of them were showing what was on the monitor I was playing on. So I was doing my thing with Last of Us, and it was also on the 2 screens to my left and to my right. Very distracting. But I still played good enough. I said I wanted around 5 minutes and 40 seconds. So I got the time I was happy with. Let me play it back again. See if there's... Oh, here's something I didn't like. If Annex was here, he could like compare and contrast. When we did ESA... Well, let me pull that up.
Here we go.
See, when we did our thing here, we had the monitor right here. The camera angle was cooler. And also, you see where I'm looking, they had a giant screen so I could see what we looked like and what we were doing. I felt like everything was set up better at ESA compared to GDQ. Because right here, during the transition...
By AnthonyCaliber, so we're going over to him.
I had no clue that they transitioned over to me. I had no clue they transitioned over. I had to hear the sound effects of the transition. So listen. I couldn't see any of that. I could hear it. That's how I knew. But I couldn't see it. And if you see right here, I'm looking down and to the left. Under the table that had all the monitors, there was a monitor that showed the stream. So I was looking down, and I saw the transition, and that's how I knew, okay, time to go. Time to start. So I could not see the time I had or what I looked like on the stream. I couldn't see it. Whereas at ESA, we could. You saw that's where I'm looking. Before I said or did anything, I waited to see that I was on the board or on the screen. That's what I did. I didn't start saying anything until I saw myself right here. And as you can see right here, I'm looking underneath a table, seeing the very bottom corner of a monitor that showed the stream. I could barely see it, and that's what I used to know when to start. I could also hear the transition, but if I didn't see anything, I probably wouldn't have known when to start. So right there, I'm looking down and to the left, and up here, I'm looking up and to the right. Because right here has the stream on a giant board. There's my brother. He's looking at it too. So yeah, I would really like to, like for GDQ's sake, I would love to see what I look like. I'm constantly, at ESA, I was constantly like looking at the board, checking my time. That's the thing that bugged me so much. I couldn't see my time while I was running. ESA, though, I want to show off financial. This was way more fun.
In these hands, generally it does, but it's still a little bit of RNG. This is one of the most impressive combats in the game. The speed at which this can be done.
This was so
when you know
awesome.
what you're
I
doing.
wish we had been able
There's
to do
also
this at
gonna be a sound glitch
GDQ.
the start. We just ignore it.
Yeah, we have a little cutscene there where Joel entrusts.
I remember this was a good financial fight.
In charge of a shotgun.
Yeah, she's got a rifle up top.
Oh, of course, a rifle, not a shotgun. Yeah, my apologies.
Good throw.
Perfect.
So far, so good. I'm gonna see if Ellie will kill him. All right, I'll do it.
Get that stuff picked up straight away.
Perfect.
There you go.
Perfect.
Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant section.
And there's two.
Yeah, I remember that. Now, if you remember, I also did an ESA run. I also did a Left Behind run at ESA because you guys donated for it.
I'm actually going to use a timer to know whenever.
See, look, right here. I'm able to see what I'm doing.
Random. We got to make it out of this.
See, look right here. I'm looking. This is the monitor I was playing on.
All the way here.
And now I'm looking at a giant board that's like right up here. If you've been to GDQ, you know they have like giant screens to the left and to the right for the viewing audiences, which is very convenient. But I couldn't see, when I was at GDQ, I couldn't see that. And that bugged me. I don't know if that's a thing, but here, the big board was within my line of sight. So I could see what I looked like, the game, and most importantly, I could see the timer.
I'm actually going to use a timer to know when everything should fill in. It's usually 1 minute and 7 seconds. Let's wait for it. Right now.
Wow.
See that? Everyone was probably just like, holy crap, how do you know that? Added to the magic and stuff. And then right here, I knew what time I had without having to ask anybody.
So right now.
Still damn good.
Yeah.
540? Yeah, see that? I knew right away. But meanwhile, over here,
For some reason. Weird. What was my time?
I had no clue. Because I couldn't see anything. They keep you in the dark about it. And that bugged me a lot. So I had no clue when the camera turned to me or what the time was. And I could not see what I or the stream looked like. Whereas at ESA, I could. I had access to that. And it made me feel a lot more comfortable. Could I see the timer at GDQ? No. Nope. Was there anything else
Game of
worth
the Year
mentioning?
awards and even a couple Game of the Decade awards.
I'm glad I wasn't lying about that. I just threw that in there. I just threw that in there hoping like it got more Game of the Decade awards, which it did. It did. But if I recall, there were what, 140, 160,000 people watching when I did this run? When I did ESA, there were only around 14,000 people watching. This had 10 times more. This had 10 times more. So I got around, like, from the last stream I did, I came back today, booted up my PC. I had around 500 new followers, so it's not like it was for nothing. I didn't stream a lot, but it wasn't for nothing. I know, like, once I do more runs, people will... the occasional person comes in and is just like, hey, I found your channel from your ESA run. I'm waiting for I found your channel from your GDQ run, you know? I'm hoping people come in saying that. That's what's going to make the trip worth it, you know? Because after I was done, dude, hold on, from the moment it transitioned, let's see.
Going over to him.
Okay, 20-second mark.
Colony. That's our little group name. GDQ for having me.
Eight minutes and 11 seconds of airtime. 8 minutes and 11 seconds of airtime. Here, let's watch it one more time and I'll like talk over some stuff.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Again, look at my eyes. I'm looking at a spot below a table where I could barely see someone else watching the stream. I could just like barely look at it. So look at my eyes. Riley, thank you for the gifted sub to Skywalker. And right there. I'm not looking at the game. I'm not looking at... I'm looking at a monitor below the table, and that's how I knew when to start.
All right, hello everyone. I am AnthonyCaliber, and this
by the way,
is the last of.
If you were... I did 2 streams when I was in Florida doing just this, practicing just this. And I had a script in my mind for how it would all play out.
This game came out in 2013, was remastered a year later for the PlayStation 4, and won a bunch of Game of the Year awards and even a couple Game of the Decade awards. But instead we're going to do the single-player DLC Left Behind. Now, there are some story spoilers ahead, so if you haven't played The Last of Us,
Oh, okay.
you should. It's kind of a really good game.
I'll listen to it
But
afterwards,
there are
because
some
I didn't
spoilers
hear.
ahead.
Okay.
So there are 2 halves to Left Behind. One half takes place around 3 or 4 weeks before the events of The Last of Us. That goes over how Ellie and her friend
I'm
Riley
trying to
got
see how I
infected by
come
the cordyceps
across to
fungus.
new people.
And the other half takes place in
Oh,
the
you know what I can do?
middle
Hold
of
on.
The Last
Wait,
of
wait,
Us.
wait. I didn't see this. Okay, everyone watch, like, if you're going to watch this, watch it on YouTube, but what I'm going to do... I think it's in a pin. Past broadcasts. I think it's in a pin in the general channel. Yeah, here we go. I never saw what the chat looked like.
All right, hello everyone. I am AnthonyCaliber, and this is The Last of Us. This game came out in 2013, was remastered a year later for the PlayStation 4, and won a bunch of Game of the Year awards and even a couple Game of the Decade awards. But instead we're going to do the single-player DLC Left Behind. Now, there are some story spoilers ahead, so if you haven't played The Last of Us, you should. It's kind of a really good game. But there are some spoilers ahead.
No
So there are
couch.
2 halves to Left
Yeah.
Behind. One half takes place...
Well, you guys can answer for me. It's like, would a couch have helped with a run of this length? Not really. I still never saw the chat. GDQ chat is legendary in a bad way.
Placed around 3 or 4 weeks before the events of The Last of Us. That goes over how Ellie and her friend Riley got infected
Spoilers.
by the cordyceps fungus. And the other half takes place in the middle
OMG,
of The
no
Last
couch?
of Us.
This game is too good.
After Joel gets impaled in the science lab, Ellie brings him to an abandoned mall for
I stopped
shelter
playing because the clicker enemy scared me too much.
and to look for medical supplies to heal him up.
The only people who say Last of Us is bad are people who have never played it. Okay.
Now, a casual playthrough
Or speedrunners.
takes around 2.5 hours. A glitchless speedrun takes around 30 minutes, give or take. But an any percent speedrun, woohoo.
D-Man, thank you for a 3-month resub.
Well, here we go. Just got to wait for the loading screen. Now, timer's going to start after I skip the first cutscene. Just got to wait a little bit.
The menu
Okay, here we go.
was a little
Timer
mistimed.
starts in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so normally you're supposed to go up those stairs and do story stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Now where the fuck do I go?
Language, Ellie. But instead, we're going to go over here,
I thought that would be a funny joke.
climb these crates over here,
Banned. Banned.
and do this. And we just glitched out the entire area. So now things like tables and stands and stuff like that are still spawned in, so we need to know where we're going. And I'm using those garage doors to know exactly
I
where
still
I'm going.
taste those ketchup.
Now, this game has 6 chapters. We're in
flavored
chapter 1,
chips.
obviously. And we're in chapter 5. So this glitch despawns doors, and we just went
Nice.
through the door that triggers the final fight of the game. Now we need to make our way to the back end of this store here. I'm gonna wait for everything to spawn in so I know where I'm going. There we go, perfect. Now if you stand over here when everything else spawns in, you soft lock the game. So we need to be right here, And coincidentally, there's some health you can pick up. Like that. Now, I need some blessed RNGs in chat because what I'm about to do is about 99% RNG.
What was that?
I've been dreading this. I'm going to run past these 4 guys and just leave.
There's the bless RNGs.
Here we go.
There we go.
Hey, what you guys find outside?
I like to see it. That's what I was
on, Ellie.
looking for.
Looking good. Open the door. Open the door. Yes. So much RNG with that. Okay, now we're in the final fight of the game. Now, there are 2 waves to this final fight. There are 8 enemies trying to open the locked door that Joel is behind. We're just going to do the glitch again and get rid of them. Just like that. 8 enemies gone. And now for the second wave, it's a little more complicated. There are also 8 enemies, but if you do the glitch right away again, you soft lock the game. So we need to kill 5 enemies. That will spawn in some infected, then we can do the glitch again. Oh, where are you?
Missed that shot there. Here, I'll go over it.
Will spawn in some infected, then we can do the glitch again.
It's hard to see, but I actually did. See, this enemy didn't show up. This is going to sound ridiculous, but this enemy didn't show up, so I was like, all right, let me shoot this guy. See, but there he is. I should have aimed at him first. So I aimed at him, and I fired at the same time he hit me, and I barely missed. And then I knew I had a bottle, so I was just like, all right, don't let that get you. Just get a headshot on him and go from there. Luckily, he dropped ammo.
There we go. That's 2.
I was worried about getting put in a chokehold, so I got the
one
rifle
more.
and got
There you
him.
are.
Luckily, he was right there, and I fucked up the glitch here.
Infected.
I don't know.
Got to do the glitch again.
I don't know why I messed that up. This would have been a sub 530 if I had
right, one more.
done
There you
this properly.
Infected. Oh, got to do the glitch again.
I don't know why it failed the first time.
There we go. That despawns everybody. That restart encounter skips a bunch of dialogue. And then we go for the door. And that's pretty much... There's one more segment after this, but that's pretty much the entire game.
I love chat right now. So many bad words. Banned. Oh my god.
Okay, so like I said, there's another part of the game, which is a flashback.
Strike.
I'm not going to bother explaining it because all of this with no context to me is just really hilarious.
Ross Favor, thank you for a tier 1 sub.
What's going on? You have no idea.
Minutes.
We skipped all of it.
Thank you for the support.
All right, so unfortunately, there aren't many speedrun strats from this point forward. We have to play the game normally. So from here till the end of the run is a good time for donations.
Of course. I've got a couple ones that I think you're going to really appreciate. I have $100 from What If Cats Are. It says, hey, Ant,
I couldn't hear any of this, remember.
At least you won't have to deal with Build This Run. Thank you so much to all the GDQ staff and runners that make such an amazing event possible. Donation goes to Runner's Choice. Also have $250 from Dino Thelistofus, who says, hey, Ant, this is your time, my friend.
Not the message.
Community of The Last of Us is with you now. Enjoy every moment. You deserve it for the years of work you've put into this game.
Thanks, Dino.
And then right here, she wasn't reading any donations. I was aware of it. A little bit of awkward silence.
Got time for another one?
Didn't hear that. Did not hear that. I want to see what chat's like. They're probably going to think I'm ignoring her, but...
Like I said, there are really no speedrun strats. This
Ignored.
part, we just got to play it normally. So any more donations, perfectly fine with me.
All right, we have $100 from Paul154 that says, hi, everyone. I got some money saved up, and I'm putting it on the GDQ pile.
Ignored.
Another $100 from Kevin250. Been watching for years. Thanks for all you do. Putting this one towards Fire Emblem Three Houses. Fear the Deer.
Dude, he's busy.
All right, here we go.
That was probably my fault for not even explaining a little bit about what's going on here. I thought that would make it more funny. It's like, no context, this is funny. But I should have mentioned something like, we're just escaping from infected, trying to find a way out of this mall that we're in. I could have just said that, but Oh well. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Or coulda, shoulda. I don't know.
So this part's funny
You
to
got
me.
time for another one?
Naughty Dog's lying to you right here. You don't have to hit square.
I also couldn't tell if anybody was laughing behind me.
And time's coming up in a little bit. Gotta stab this runner first.
Someone noticed it. She zoomed up that ladder. Yeah, that's part of the speed run. She zoomed up that ladder.
All right, time is right.
They found that one funny.
Now.
That's good.
My throat hurts for some reason. Weird. What was my time? How much? 5:33. Not bad. Not bad. I will take that. The record's 5:19.47. Just an insane run. Okay, I think that's it. So again, I'm AnthonyCaliber, full-time Twitch streamer.
Why did he skip it?
I also do speedruns of The Last of Us on grounded mode, which is the hardest difficulty. My record for that's 2 hours, 50 minutes, and 30 seconds, which is insane considering where we started. And it's really exciting that Last of Us
What was that? Oh, Williata, thank you for a $5 donation. Watch the last 30 seconds all the way. Play. Oh, yeah.
2 is releasing
Absolutely.
in May of this year, so we're really excited for that. I think
just
a
seeing
lot
what
of
the chat
speedrun
was.
potential with that game. And yeah, if you want to get into
I'll take runs that won't happen again for 400. Come on. It wasn't that bad. Not counting Bad Games Block, it was the shortest run they had there.
speedrunning Last of Us or Left Behind yourself, I have some tutorials on my YouTube channel, which is also AnthonyCaliber. And if you have any questions, like specific questions, you can join our Discord, which is called the Ant Colony. That's our little group name. And either I or someone else will answer any questions you have. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you, GDQ, for having me.
I wish I wasn't so stiff. Tried to like relax a little more, smile a little more. That was probably my bad, but all the while, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't like Left Behind. I really don't like it.
And thank you so much, AnthonyCaliber, for putting on that run for us. Give it up one more time for The Last of Us. Come on.
It's not The Last of Us. It's Left Behind.
All right, I got one more donation here before I am done for the day. $500 from Williata.
Whoa, I didn't know you gave
this
that
is
much.
awesome. Never expected to see The Last of Us on here. I'd love to see it run through the whole game, but I'll take what I can get. Great decision putting this on here, hoping for more like this. Great cause for donation as well. Thanks all, and good luck, Anthony.
Good donation, dude. Perfect way of wording it as well. So that little bit, like hoping for more, you know what'll make them? You know what will make them want? You know what will make them show more? Once again, if for some reason you can get this number higher than any of the other runs in the marathon, that will make them open their eyes more. It's like, this one has an uncharacteristically higher amount of views than the other runs. Why is that? It's like, make them not ignore us. That's what I was trying to get across. Don't troll them on social media like I do. Just watch it. Keep watching this video and get the views up to a point where they can't ignore us anymore. That's what I wish for you guys. Why they turned off comments, I don't know. But just watch it. Keep on watching it. Wouldn't it be cool if for somehow this was the most watched run in the marathon? That would be like the coolest thing ever. Because I'm still not happy that I traveled all that way, stressed so much about this run, and I had 8 minutes and 11 seconds of screen time. Like, I want to do a grounded run. I don't care. For those of you here from GDQ, I don't care about Left Behind. I don't. It is not a passion of mine. I play Left Behind 1 week a year. And that's really to take back a record. I can get another record if I grind for another like 60 hours in a week, but I don't want to. I'm happy with the time I have. I got a 5:19. That's a 5:19.47. That's a time that I never thought was possible, and I'm happy with. I can maybe cut off another half a second if I like only do that for another week, but I don't want to. But yeah, I think all the comments are turned off on all of the videos because of that thing YouTube is doing that are like, your video, if it's made for kids, something happens with the comments. I don't know. That's annoying. But whatever. Is there anything after this?
And I'm going to send it over to a Twitch ad here. And stay tuned. We'll be back.
Was I in there at all?
More with Jeff. And good luck, Anthony.
Here's Williata.
And I'm going to send it over to a Twitch ad here.
I want to see if I was over
And
here.
stay tuned. We'll be back more with Jack 2.
Look at me. I'm looking for myself on the camera. I didn't spend a lot of time at the convention. Yeah, I'll play a little more factions. Was travel and stuff all on your own dime? Yeah. I flew down and flew back and booked a hotel near there, all on my own dime. But I'm looking for exposure any way that I can get it. This was an in, and I hope when I return to consistent schedule speedrunning and stuff, I notice my average viewership goes up a little bit. This was exposure. I'm looking for exposure any way that I can get it. So, yeah. That's why I went down and did this. It was annoying. And I told my sister, because my sister was there in the audience as well. What we got? Vigora, thank you for a 26-month resub. I've been out of the loop for a while. Saw the run. How was the overall response for the game? It was good. I think people liked it. You guys loved it. I'm glad that you guys loved it. It was short. I really hate the fact that it was over like that. But this was my first GDQ appearance. I hope this means I'm a shoo-in for AGDQ 2021. That's what I hope. I hope this means I can get Last of Us in for AGDQ 2021. It's not going to be SGDQ because they don't accept violent games at that one, but AGDQ they do. So I hope this means I'm a shoo-in. What was that? Oh, Williata, thank you for 1,300 bits. Thank you so much. I don't think there's anything left to show.